Ruined it. As always. As always, I have ruined. Bit. I pulled the volume slider too far. How are we doing today, chat? It's not high poly, it's shiny. Halo CE textures are weird. And to rip the model, you have to like kind of recreate all the effects. And it wasn't quite perfect. He did a pretty good job, but it makes it look higher fidelity than it is. As dumb as this is, I still think remaking this game every decade for the rest of eternity is better than them trying to make new titles. I'm kind of the opposite. I was of the mind, like, why didn't we get more Halo Infinite content? I know. Halo Infinite, not an amazing game, but there was a lot of, like, concept art that I would have liked them to at least try to make that and not throw in the towel immediately. I mean, they gave up fast. These guys are quitters. How are we doing, chat? It's been a minute. I do apologize. I have been busy making the long-form video of the season. Our bike packing trip. Actually, this reminds me. I need to finish donating to that 500 away. But I do that after the stream. But yeah, if you haven't, you should check those videos out. Especially if you think that I need to suffer. So, today we are going to be playing the remake of Halo CE. Yes, they've shadow dropped a remake on us. I'm disgusted. It's horrifying. But it's not surprising that Microsoft would shadow drop this thing onto us. You know, they could put a trailer out. And if they put a trailer out, then we can levy some critiques against it, maybe comment on some of the issues that it has. And then in a year, they would release it with like a lot of the concerns addressed. But, you know, the modern thing, they're shadow dropping this stuff. And, you know, there's no time for critiques. You know, whatever bad decisions they made, they're stuck in the game. We're stuck with it. And so I figured I'd sit down and check it out. Rooster Tooth retrospective win. It gets tempting. Alright, let's play some Unreal Engine 5 slop. Pause the music here. I don't know if I have... Oh, Boomer Pat forgot to set up the interface.
Covenant believe that what they call the silent cartographer is somewhere under
here we
this
go.
island.
We got the remaster. I'm going to comment right up front, this does not look like a modern game.
The island has multiple
As is
structures and
typical,
installations.
the
One
remaster
of them
graphics seem to
contains
be
the map
like
room.
a generation behind, but that's UE5 slop for you. I mean, I guess it's good they really haven't changed much of the voice acting. Like, this seems pretty authentic to the original experience. So, they didn't make it, like, they didn't make it woke. You know, they didn't make it lame. But, at the same time, I don't think these are good. This is not a good art style. in my view. Yeah, I did. I turned off sprint because people on Twitter were saying, you know, well, you can toggle it off. It's not a big deal that they're putting sprint in CE because you can toggle it off. So I'm going to try it out with sprint toggled off. We're not able to sprint. See, like, I'm pressing shift right now. I'm not sprinting. So... Right. Let's stare at some rocks here. Yeah, I mean, like, they're not using the full potential of the UE5 materials rendering. I don't even think, like... Are they... They said they were using Lumen. This does look like Unreal Engine 6. You see, they got a decent amount of the blood textures still, though. It's good. I was seeing people, they were running up the grunt bodies and shooting them. And it looks like they've got a lot of the blood effects still in the game. I mean, it seems like they made the game significantly easier. Like, this is practically playing itself. I'm not really doing anything, but... I'm not impressed with the UE5 lighting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're not using the light sources correctly or what's going on. Oh, we're gonna have to play.
Area secure.
Affirmative. Echo 419 inbound.
Like, look at this. This is just, there's a huge art style clash here. Right? Because it's like, you've got this, like, semi-realistic looking sand and blood and structure, and then this guy looks like he's just out of a, like, Unreal Engine Store asset pack. Just, like, kind of a generic marine design, you know. Really nonsensical. Really nonsensical the way that they've changed and overhauled the marine designs. But, you know, Halo fans be Halo fans. They're excited. Ooh, look, guys, they're bringing the plasma rifle back. They brought the plasma rifle back. Instead of the plasma repeater or the plasma carbine or whatever other garbage that they've been using. It's just sad. I don't even get a Marine? Wow. Wow, 343, wow. I don't even get a Marine. All my guys are dead, and they didn't spawn me a new one. So now I just don't have a turret. Yeah, they used a lot of generative AI. You can see the Studio Ghibli, like, yellow piss filter on the texture work here, just slightly. There's definitely some generative AI being used for these textures. And again, it just clashes. This does not look like a... Like, it feels like different aspects of the art were made by, like, teams that weren't talking to each other. Alright.
Okay, let's move out. Let's go find the map room that will show us the location of Halo's control center.
Look how bad these driving controls are. It's just so... You know, it's just all over the place. It's a good question. I don't know. And there's this weird glossiness to the oceans. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, I mean, like, those are water effects. I would imagine, though, if they were remaking Halo driving, that it would be a little less floaty. You can see the repeating patterns in the water. Yeah, you kind of can. I mean, it's just like, guys, it's like $200 for that asset, that water asset pack in the Unreal store. It's like they just followed a fucking YouTube tutorial on how to make water. Is Cortana still thick, though? Yeah, we're gonna have to see, like, a later part of the game
It
to
looks
gauge.
like there is a path into the interior of the island.
Wow. Where's the battle rifle? Just starting on Silent Cartographer. This is what people will recognize from the trailer, because they just shadow dropped this. So I figured, like, this would be the place to really kind of start. The fuck is that? Why is the model for this tree so big? Like, look at them. They can't hit me. I can see them. They can see me, but they can't hit me at all. This is embarrassing, guys. Yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't. How do you make a mistake like that if it's a new engine? Is shadow dropping the new strat at Microsoft? People just pogging and buying nostalgia bait without thinking? Yeah, well, it's like, you know, guys like me, you know, we were doing streams, we were pointing holes in the marketing, and so it's like, you can't have negative marketing like with Avowed if you don't market your game at all. They put their worst foot forward. It's supposed to look like dog shit for them to fix before the shadow drop. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 343 is trying to troll the fucking Halo haters who are always negative, always hating, and then it's like when the game comes out, they're gonna look stupid because they were sharing their opinions online without playing the game. As opposed to me. I'm sharing positivity online. See, you can't even one-shot them in the back anymore. Look at this. I can't one-shot them in the back. That took like 6 shots. Yeah, like, look. I'm nailing every single one of these. Why'd they make the hunters so tough? You shouldn't share your opinions online before a game comes out. Unless they're positive opinions. If they're positive opinions, then it's fine to share your opinion on them. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'd really like if they updated it so that, like... You remember the spires in the second level? Where it's, like, kind of a triangular upward shape? I feel like they should do that here. It would make a lot more sense. They look like robots because they're trying... What is going on here? What was that? That was weird. No, I got home. I got home from biking across America. And I realized in riding my bike 3,773 miles for charity, I realized that I'm too nice to people on the internet. I think that we should... you see, a lot of people think you should touch grass and that will make you chill out. I actually think that, like, I've been too chill. There are people who need to be made fun of in the Halo community. And I think that, like, the time has come to just mercilessly mock these people. And that revelation came to me from, you know, thousands of miles being rained and snowed on and getting sick out in the world. And... I used to let too much slide. Didn't you meme about not buying this slop? Yeah, but I included a provision where I said that I would be able to, like, buy the new remake to make fun of it. And, like, that's what I'm here to do, you know? It's just... Halo CE did not need a remake or a remaster. Like, it's got a really good, timeless art style. It doesn't need to be modernized for, like, a new audience. And they can claim, like, well, you know, we've got this new company that's taken over this, this 343 or Halo Studios. Sorry, I don't want to dead name them. But we've got this new company taking over. Let's remake Halo CE as kind of a test pipeline for what we're going to be doing as our content flow. And it just doesn't make sense to me to do that. It doesn't make sense to me that you would start out your content strategy with a new company by remaking Halo CE. It just seems like a waste to me. Like, there's a lot of reused assets here. Listen, Microsoft. It's cute when, like, a 20-year-old is, like, finding themselves again. It's not cute when that's, like, a tech company. Like, you're only supposed to have one growth phase. And I don't know why you're doing stuff like making the Xbox dev kits more expensive, because that's how, like, they make content for your platform. It's just, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. They should have remade Halo Infinite. Yeah. They should keep remaking Halo Infinite until it's good. Alright, so it's Shadow Elites. No, it's supposed to be Shadow Elites first. What the heck? They changed the combat sequencing? Didn't we just fight hunters? I feel like we're overdoing the hunter encounters. And 343 really just doesn't get how to pace, like, a level out. Like, it's no wonder they're shoving sprint into the game. Now that I've weakened him, yeah. It seems like they're really pushing people to use grenades in this remake. This looks like shit. I mean, they're, like, conforming it to the new art style. Everything's got to have, like, that Halo 4, let's shove neon aesthetics on everything look, you know? No, I can't show off the sprint. I turned it off. You can toggle the sprint off, which is what I've done. So I'm pressing shift right now, and I'm not sprinting. Yeah, I know. They made the hunters worse, because you used to be able to one-shot them in the back with the Magnum, and I guess that, like, that was too easy.
This is a security override station
if this is the best that Unreal Engine 5 can do in terms of, like, particle effects, I feel like they should have been using Unity.
Won't be able to lock us out.
They should just switch the engine out. Switch the engine out, get rid of Unreal, switch it over to Unity. This will look way better. This is Campaign Evolved. This is whatever the new remake is. I went on Steam, I bought the new remake. It looks like shit.
Let's find the map.
I can't believe that this is what they're shadow dropping. They did that weird Halo tournament, and then we're like, okay, we've shadow dropped the new campaign.
Mayday! Mayday! Dropship Bravo 22 taking enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and are losing altitude! Understood. We're on our way.
Oh, so they didn't forget about these guys. What is that plasma effect? It looks so bad. Like, did you guys... Like, look at these plasma grenades. Like, that's just embarrassing. Is this a gaslight? This is not real. This is gaming in 2025. We are gaming in 2025.
Chief,
Little skip
Bravo
here.
22 was
Oh, good.
bringing
They
us some
kept the
heavy
skip.
weapons. After I saw we were up against hunters, I thought you could use them.
What the fuck?
Let's move down the beach. Keep an eye
What
out
the
for any
fuck
cargo we can
is
salvage.
this? Do the hitboxes really have to be so blocky in 2025? Will Cortana win? Yeah, we haven't seen Cortana yet. Need to see how they've updated her. Outer Worlds 2 analysis planned. I don't think I'm in the mood for Outer Worlds 2. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought about doing a thing where it's like, you stream Outer Worlds 2, and then the second that there's a single bit of dialogue cringe, you just turn off the voice acting and start playing it mechanically. But then I was told that, like, it's not even particularly mechanically deep, which is kind of frustrating to me. So... come on. I've never done this before. I've played Silent Cartographer a lot of times. This was one of my favorite levels. Play the original graphics. This is a UE5 remake. You can't switch the graphics. This isn't like the... I don't know. What game did that? System Shock? At least they kept my beloved tunnel.
There, in the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility. They're already inside. We have to get in there and stop them.
They're already inside. What is this?
Control center.
Are they AI generating Jen Taylor lines? Wow. Okay, probably shouldn't face tank that. Where's the crab? We could look for the crab, yeah. I have to ask, did we need this game? Did anybody need this? I don't think the world needs this remake. I don't get it, you know? Just play the old Halo. Like, it's extremely accessible. You can switch to old graphics in MCC. This is Anniversary. Did I just hear a woman's voice? Game ruined. I know, they're making Halo woke. They're shoving a woman into Halo. Hello. Yeah, I was gonna say. Was in the air. Wow, not even updates to the checkpointing system.
There, in the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility.
And the enemy AI
They're already inside. We have to
I
get
mean,
in
very
there and stop
simple,
them
you know?
before they learn the location of the control center.
Oh, I missed. I flubbed it. I flubbed it. I flubbed it. But I lived. Someone was posting about, like, oh, Cortana is this touch of femininity in, like, the hyper-masculine world of Halo. And I was just thinking, like, that's very gay. I don't, like, we don't need that. I think that to modernize this game for the modern audience, they need to make Cortana a man. I think the funniest thing about Halo CE is once you know that the pistol can one-shot the hunters in the back, the rocket launcher, like, that they point out should be useful for fighting the hunters is, like, you should never use it to do that. We got bored of making bad new games, so we make a good old bad game mediocre instead. Well, yeah, they want to introduce Halo to a new audience, but they don't want it to overshadow
Covenant are putting up a real fight.
Project Ecker or whatever it is, the Battle Royale Halo they're also making. Because remember,
be at the bottom floor of this facility.
this is supposedly the first of 2 games that they're making. This looks ass. The pistol looks worse than the first-person view in the Helldivers Halo Warbond. But that's just 343 for you. I mean, they greenlit this. They thought that this looked good when it came out. which was today. Master Chief is deporting the Covenant off of Halo and isn't afraid of anyone. I know, the White House Halo posting is, like, really cringe. Let's view this cutscene. Man, really modernizing this cutscene here, huh? Giving Master Chief a swagger he shouldn't have, the unnecessarily detailed armor. It's like, the low poly aesthetic worked for the setting because everything just seemed so brutal. Like, why is there purple colors in my Forerunner structures? Why are there, like, curved surfaces? There's too many neon lights. It just doesn't look good. Do you guys believe? Do you guys believe? I don't believe. I can't believe it, chat. I have forgotten how you do this skip. Not even close. Not even close. At one time, I could very easily do that skip. Even with 1 HP. Because the skip of it is, there's like a specific piece of geometry you used to be able to land on, and that would allow you to skip most of this level. But I guess 343 just didn't keep it. Because, you know, why would you keep anything that's fun about the original old game when clearly it's better to, like, just change stuff for the sake of it? It's a process called enshittification. They're doing this on purpose to get you on SSRIs. Like, they are working with the Trump administration to ruin Halo. And they're doing it so you don't care about Gaza. Yeah, I fired a rocket, and the grunts became woke. Trash as expected or not? I mean, like, I can't be too upset that this is bad, because it's 343, you know? It's just like, why would you remake CE? CE is a classic. Oh, hang on. See, the problem is that, like, I turned the music off so that it wouldn't play on the main menu. So we're missing a whole, like, atmospheric dynamic here. But, you know, knowing, they probably, like, because Marty O'Donnell is, like, conservative now, they probably replaced his music with generative AI Halo tracks. So it was probably for the best that we had it off. I don't play unofficial, like, mods or anything, so I've never played SPV3. I only play official, like, 343 products. No, they reused the menu. That's what sucks. You should see the main menu that they have. Here, I'll try to pull it up. Like, you think I'm joking, you know? You think, oh, this is all just turns out this is all an elaborate bit. There's no jokes here. Okay, this is the main menu. That's what it looks like. And it's all styled like this. Like, ooh, remember this generic, like, middle of the road every Halo menu? We're not gonna capture the original aesthetics. We're just gonna make a new thing. Do you think they'll allow us to keep playing this in RFK Jr.'s autistic fat camps? Well, I mean, like, Halo CE is the reason there are so many Tylenol Americans.
You've got 2 enemy dropships coming in fast. Damn it. Okay, people, we got company coming. Let's set the table. Engage enemy forces on site.
Is this supposed to be Lumen?
From inside the structure. Can you get inside?
This just looks like really ugly, flat lighting. And there's like
You gotta find the cartographer. We'll
Z
keep
fighting
moving as long as
issues?
we can.
Z fighting
Give
issues?
him hell, Marine. We'll be in a tight spot if we don't get out of here before additional reinforcements.
Silence, woman.
Let's find that map.
Oh, I think you land on the overshield. Is that the skip? You land on the overshield? I thought it was there was a piece of geometry you were... I don't know. Hey, shit ass. This has quickly turned into an embarrassing situation. Let us pretend it didn't happen.
There. That hollow panel should activate the map. Analyzing. Halo's control center is located there. That structure appears to be some sort of temple or shrine, if I've interpreted this correctly.
They've quipified her dialogue. She's super quippy now.
A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant installation.
Like, you hear that?
Cortana to Captain Key.
She's got some snap to her dialogue, some Whedon-esque Marvel
Captain has dropped out
MCU
of
humor.
contact, Cortana. His ship may be out of range or having equipment problems.
Did I whiff a melee?
Keep trying. Let me know when you've re-established contact, and then tell him that the Master Chief and I have determined the location of the control center. We'll be heading there as soon as we're contact.
Affirmative. Phone hammer out.
Yeah, I do think that Halo Reach does look better than this remaster that came after. And, like, it's just kind of embarrassing. But, you know, they gotta make it work on an Xbox, so... that informs a lot of the limitations, as it were. PS5 too, yeah. I can barely hear that. That's not... I don't think that's the original music. That's very disrespectful. To change the music in a remaster? Like, what even is the point? Are you saying that the old music wasn't good enough? Die. Look how big this is. This should do more damage than the pistol melee. Rocket melee should one-shot those guys. Okay, so listen. That got me. Whoops. No, that was for the elite. That was for the elite, you bastard. Don't deny him his purpose. As soon as you get into combat, it just dies down. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with, like, the audio ducking, where it's like the sound of the guns needs to overpower the sound of the rock music that's associating the combat, but... Hey, bud. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that the Google AI would not like the product of the Microsoft AI, which is this game. This game was made with generative AI. Forged by AI hands. This should have been free. Yeah. Is this AI slop or AI assisted slop? They said that, like, oh, the AI is just helping with, like, the bureaucratic process of making games. It's not, like, replacing artists or anything. But then they said that they were using procedural generation, and that's AI, so, you know. Copilot did most of the work. Copilot's actually playing the game for me right now. We have a AI assistant who is playing the game, playing the AI generated game. So I get to brag. I get to brag that I am playing Halo, but I don't actually have to play Halo. This is human existence in 2025. Instead of weightlifting and making myself more fit, I'm going to use AI to generate pictures of me being more fit. So I get the status of it without actually having to do any of the work. This is the type of GDP growth that we really need in this country.
Let's get moving. Fohammer, here are coordinates and a flight plan I've worked out.
Bro, there are more women in this cutscene than men. Is this equity? Is this equity to you guys?
My analysis shows that Halo is honeycombed with deep tunnels, which circle the whole ring.
I hope your analysis is
What are they doing? Are they, like, I could walk up here. Why are they landing up?
Look on the bright
What
side,
the
Philly.
fuck?
The last
What
thing
is the
content will
sequencing of this
expect is
cutscene?
an aerial insertion from underground.
No, that was one of those, like, power pylons. Why are they implying that it was like a hatch? This is so dumb. Why don't they just fly over the surface to wherever they're going? Yeah, I obtained this legally. Alright, hang on. I gotta look at my bank account. I gotta make sure that the check cleared before we continue. Because I played the part that I was contractually obligated to play, and now I need to, like, I need to make sure that the 10K clears before we continue. You know what was frustrating to me was that we had to point out on Twitter that, like, none of the Halo content creators were being given access to this game. Okay? It was all non-Halo content creators. I've been advertising Halo for free for years. And they didn't send me the remake. They sent it to Jax Films, the Sizzling Fajitas guy. He gets it before me. That's just embarrassing, 343. Is this how you repay the loyalty of your most ardent community members? Sorry, I had to check out the best Halo level. Like, this is the best level in CE, and I had to make sure, like, how did they do it in the remake? You know, because I would be really despondent if they were, like, massive changes in the remake to what is arguably one of the best Halos in the franchise, like, one of the best levels in the franchise. Get up. You're not done, get up. Wait, did you just go from Silent Cartographer to the library? Yeah, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that in the plot? Also, they made... I guess they listened to me. They made Cortana a man for this level. Yeah, so you can toggle between the, like, authentic mag. So, like, there were screenshots showing that it was like a 32 round mag like this, but there's a toggle just like the sprint option. You can toggle the bigger AR magazine. You see, we gotta live in the future where we have all the settings that are modernized for the modern audience, because, you know, a modern audience, they can't handle guns with more than 30 bullets. That's just Call of Duty, right? There are no guns in Call of Duty that have more than 30 bullets. 31 at the most. So they're pushing the limits with 32. But they can meet in the middle by just having, like, toggle options. You know, and then they just design the game to work around both things. Oh my god. What did they do to the shotgun? Shotgun, my beloved. I hope that didn't blow the shotgun too far. Well, no, I got lots of ammo for it. Yeah, they shadow dropped this remake. Again, I don't get it. I don't get why you would remake Halo CE. And what's bad is that, like, in 10 years, 10, 15 years, maybe 12, they're gonna remake it again. So it's like, why bother? You know, this shouldn't have been made. What I'm playing now, this should not have been made. Hey, that was enough. What are the chances we have a prequel scenario where people circle around the CEA and realize it wasn't that bad? Yeah, in like 2035, when they remake Halo CE again, and they relaunch Halo as a franchise again, because this doesn't work, you know, they're probably gonna, like, turn around on this and go, hey guys, this wasn't that bad. The toggle option's not available in California, though. Yeah, in California, they actually banned gameplay toggles, so you just have to play, like, the sprint version. I think I missed the gate. Halo is back. Halo is back, baby. Yeah, they're gonna do another Halo tournament in 2026. There's nothing more back than like 1,000 concurrent players on Steam, because they're all on Xbox. You know, as they say, this is an Xbox. This right here, this wall, this is an Xbox. If they had waypoints, though, you wouldn't have missed it. Yeah. Oh, whoops, that is not the melee button. The first of 10? What, did they make the library longer in the remake? That's crazy. I guess it was to complement the sprint, but I turned off the sprint. Did they not compensate for me turning off the sprint, fundamentally changing the gameplay? It's really almost like they should just have one consistent option, which is to have no sprint. Because then they can, like, design encounters around it. It's, like, embarrassing that they designed this level around using sprint, and then, like, you know, what if I turn it off? What if I turn the waypoints off? Am I just going to be lost? Am I just going to be lost without quest markers? Like, is that really the solution? Just turn it off if you don't like it? It just seems like you're more invested in, like, weirdly protecting this multi-million-dollar company than like Halo actually being good. Because and maybe you just lack an inherent aesthetic sense of taste for what could make Halo good. Maybe that explains it. But to me personally, it's like, it's really weird that you guys keep pointing out like, oh, you Halo fans will complain about anything. Yeah, and by you saying that implies that like you don't consider yourself a Halo fan. So like, why would we listen to your opinions if you're not a fan? If you don't consider yourself a fan of Halo, like, what contribution do you have to the conversation? So to me, it's just like, you know, all those Halo haters are probably just like Amazon AI. AI chatbots powered by AWS, because they disappeared when the servers went down, all the Halo haters. Yeah, I noticed that. But they just give these guys a prompt, and they like just mass generate bot accounts that defend these games, and they all use the same lines. You Halo fans will complain about anything, you know. I for one think the remaster looks great, you know. It's just like, there's no end to like the AI usage when it comes to Halo. I think the lighting is great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You know, they're gonna release a few updates and it'll be good. I don't see why you gotta be a hater about this. I just don't.
Oh, hello.
Outer Worlds 2 is not flopping, okay? Those are just the pre-release numbers. And everybody was at work this weekend, okay? Next weekend, when it's Halloween, everybody's gonna sit down, they're gonna play Outer Worlds 2 when it's publicly out and on Game Pass. They're all gonna be on Game Pass, so you're not even gonna be able to know how many people are playing Outer Worlds 2. But I've seen a lot of people talk about it, you know. IGN was talking about it, Paris Lily was talking about it. All of these people were talking about how great Outer Worlds 2 is. I've seen so much organic traffic for Outer Worlds 2 that, like, I think that Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be great. And it's like, sure, you know, they pay me by the amount of times that I can say Outer Worlds 2 in a sentence, right? Because Outer Worlds 2 needs to be Outer Worlds 2'd. Then we need to advertise Outer Worlds 2, and they're aware of that. They made the jokes about the consumer trait if you buy the pre-release version. Like, it's part of the bit, guys. The shilling and the over-the-top marketing and just the lameness and like using a racist mascot, Moon Man. Have you ever heard of Moon Man? Moon Man, Moon Man, can't you see? Blank and blank need to hang from trees. Yeah, we're gonna use Moon Man as the mascot of the Outer Worlds 2 because that's just such a good idea. There's nothing that screams, I am socially conscious of racism, than using a fucking racist caricature as the main fucking mascot of not just your game now, because it was a one-off thing with Outer Worlds, but now it's like Obsidian's whole thing is fucking Moon Man. Don't they know the history of Mac tonight? It's just, listen, they pay me, but it gets a little frustrating sometimes. That's a stretch, bro. He's literally called Moon Man. Literally, he literally just looks like Mac tonight got fat and stopped rapping about killing black people. Have you guys never heard of Moon Man mod? Did you guys not at least Google the name before you decided that was going to be the main mascot of your company? So, Mac tonight was the mascot of like this 80s or 90s era commercial where he'd be playing He'd be playing the piano for McDonald's, but it's a guy with a crescent moon head. You know, like a big pointy white head. And so people started making jokes that like after his failed like music career, he started like rapping about killing black people and like driving around the ghetto shooting them. And like that was the origination of like Moon Man as a racist meme. And then it's like 20 years later, apparently cluelessly, nobody at Obsidian thought to look up if the name Moon Man was used for anything. Is it better if they're clueless or dog whistling, though? It would be funnier if they were dog whistling, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they're clueless. And I think that, like, people should be making fun of them for it. Like, guys. Guys. Listen, there's a YouTuber who did a review of Moon Man mod that you should check out. I think his name is, like, G-Man Lives or something. Yeah, just it's a mod for a Doom WOD where you play as Moon Man and you know, go on Moon Man adventures, and that's kind of what, like, if you're excited and waiting for the Outer Worlds 2, you should know that there is a Moon Man prequel. It's the Moon Man mod for Doom. Go ahead, install it on ZDoom or UZDoom or whatever the current one is that people use, and you know, just yeah. You know, it was a really good idea to name that it's like, make that your mascot.
Flood activity has caused a failure in a drone control subsystem. I must be sent to backup unit. Please continue on. I will rejoin you when I've completed my task.
Well, listen, they're able to make Outer Worlds WODs because they also own id Software. So it's kind of like a promotional thing. They made Moon Man mod to sell copies of Outer Worlds. What I want to know is, when are they making the Moon Man Funko Pop? So this is like one of the hardest sections of the game if you're like not good at Halo. And it's just because the pressure is like constant. But that's what makes the shotgun such a goated weapon. It's not just the damage, it's the fact that you can partial reload it. So you can like maximize your time economy in this segment. Or you can run away. Is this the one? No, this is not the one. There's one where you can just hide. But this is why I like the library. Like, this is, no joke, this is probably one of my favorite Flood levels ever made. Roundhead Moon Man is like one of those evil versions of themselves every reviewer in the mid-2000s had. It kind of is, yeah. Come on, Sentinels, get your act together. Why would I kill them? They're harmless. And it's a waste of ammo. But fine, I will kill them. Come here. This is how you kill these guys. Halo 1 is Spartan Ops, the same 3 levels repeated 50 times. Yeah, but you see, Spartan Ops has something that this doesn't, which is like constant auditory feedback. I'm lonely right now. Male Cortana is talking to me and that's it. Where's Sarah Palmer? Where's Miller? Where's Pelican Guy number 1 and Pelican Guy number 2? Where's Dalton? Where's Dr. Glassman? Where's Ashley from Mass Effect for one level? You know? Bro, come on. Don't kill the sentinels. There we go. Do something about it, bitch. Do something. Hey, hey. You chill? Oh. Bastard.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Halo is inherently racist because you kill the Flood instead of welcoming them. You see, Halo is right-wing. And it's right-wing because in the 2000s they decided to have a bunch of biblical motifs. Yeah, Bungie in the mid-2000s, they were totally into the Bible. They were based and red-pilled, and they definitely weren't just like making biblical allusions because it was a story about like the creation of humanity. It's really funny watching Halo get like pulled around in the culture war because it's like, on the one hand, it's supposed to be based and epic and heckin' red-pilled because it has like John 1:17, hello, but also at the same time, it's like pushing out of Africa theory and like everything takes place in like East Africa on Earth, and it's like, actually, Halo is probably one of the most woke games that was ever made. And it's like, can you guys just, like, shut the fuck up and kill yourselves? Like, holy shit. And I don't just mean the woke people, I mean, like, everybody that's making Halo political. You know what's political about Halo? I'm gonna kill aliens. That's what's political. Wait. No, wait. That's too. Can we strike that from the record? Twitter Halo fans are cancer. You can't be mad at Twitter Halo fans. They're like running on a computer. They're like in a mainframe. They're like in a cloud server database. Halo Twitter fans. Nothing screams authentic to me like a guy that only talks about Halo on Twitter once every 4 years. Like, oh boy, there's a new Halo product. Time to log into my totally organic Halo account. And some of them are real, but like they post more frequently than just when like Halo stuff is being marketed. Halo fans in the Twitter runs in the Didact Composer. Yeah. Your electricity bill has gone up this year in order to power the fucking data center of Halo Twitter accounts that are like, you control the buttons you press. I'm usually not a fan of like just assuming that everything is like fake. Like dead internet theory is not my thing. I don't like when people go, actually, people only hate Star Trek because of Russian bots. Like, there's somebody who has like a fucking master's or PhD in physics who thinks that Star Trek discourse on Twitter is controlled by Russian bots. Like, this is something that she unironically believes. People don't like Star Trek Discovery because of the Russian bots, okay? So I don't care for that line of thinking, but at the same time, there's a tell. There's a tell, right? And it was the you Halo fans thing. Because they would that same thing would keep getting posted over and over. You Halo fans will complain about anything, and it's like, well, if you're not a Halo fan, why are you invested? Why do you care that people like don't want sprint in Halo CE? If you're not a Halo fan, the only people who care would be Halo fans. So the fact that you're othering yourself, but also there's the, like, double think of it. I'm not a Halo fan. Halo hasn't made anything good in, like, 15 years. There's no good Halos from, like, since 2010. So, like, can you really call me a fan? No, the fans are the ones who want Sprint. It's the, like, old guard that doesn't. And then these people will be like, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And it's like, cool. Hey, I wonder why Halo Infinite only has, like, 1,000 people playing it at any given time. Huh. Really weird. It's almost like a bunch of people decided to not play it, and then that results in people not playing it. And then you can't be, like, scratching your head wondering what happened. You told us not to play it, so we didn't play it. Like, that's how this works. You know what's really funny about Halo Infinite, too, is that, like, they had that wave of, like, 250,000 concurrent players. Not as big as Starfield, and Starfield was, like, not exactly great in itself, but they had, like, the opportunity to, like, make Halo Infinite a thing that people would actually play, and they fucking fumbled it. It was, like, around the time the Battlefield 2042, like, flopped, people were looking for, like, a fun little first-person shooter thing to play, and it's like, here's our free-to-play game, and then they were like, they just fucked it with microtransactions to death, and, like, a complete and utter lack of new content. And so it's like, you were handed the golden ticket, and you were just, like, too lazy to put pants on and get on the train to fucking visit the factory. Like, and now nobody plays your shitty-ass fucking game because... Because you decided that in, like, 6 months you were gonna make 2 maps for a game that already didn't have maps. And then you're wondering, why did nobody pick up Halo Infinite? Right-wing account with a marble statue, Indian fella. Well, yeah, it's like, who the fuck's gonna set up bot accounts to, like, post Greek and Roman aesthetic stuff, right? I mean, maybe, like, some intelligence service who's, like, trying to push, like, masculinity. Of course, it's a lot easier, like, to work with the theory that those guys are all Indian because, you know, the incentive is, like, the money that they make from Twitter Blue. I don't think there's any state government that wants people, like, aesthetic posting. Imagine getting trounced by Escape from Duckov. Yeah, imagine. You know, I kind of agree. This level's a bit of a snooze. You know what would make it better? Sprint. If I could sprint through these halls, man, this level would be, perfect. Are you having fun playing this, Pat? Yeah. Like I said, the library is one of my favorite levels, because it's very dynamic in the gameplay. Like, I wouldn't want a game that was entirely Flood. You gotta have the Covenant elements. But I also think that, like, I wouldn't want a game that's entirely Covenant. Like, Halo Reach had to try really hard to function without the Flood, because it really was just, like, a missing element. You need that, like, that enemy variety. I liked Cursed Halo, but I feel like this is one of the dumbest hipster takes. I prefer the older versions of Cursed Halo, but it is actually true. There is a point where the bit became too much. The early versions of Cursed Halo were like the perfect amount of that bit, where everything was different and variated, and it was like an interesting kind of way, because like the blunderbuss in Cursed Halo is probably one of my favorite weapons of all time. Just the way that it works, the way that like you can launch yourself off the ground with it to do like skips and stuff. Really cool. Mario Kart levels, not so much. So like there was a point where that bit went too far. Why would you shoot the infection forms? They're cute. I can put some ads in your chat. Buy Outer Worlds 2, 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 Outer Worlds 2. We really get, guys. Hang on, I gotta show this on stream. If you haven't been following my Twitter account. All right, let me show you this. This is the Steam chart from the first 3 days for Avowed, right? Peaked about 17.4 thousand players. You'll see that, right? First 3 days of Avowed. First 3 days of Outer Worlds 2. Oof. Guys, the pre-release period for Outer Worlds 2 is doing worse than the pre-release period for Avowed. And I don't think that $10 is making the difference, okay? I don't think having to pay $100 to get Outer Worlds 2 early compared to paying $90 to get Avowed early is making the world of difference when it comes to these numbers. I don't think 7,000 people are falling off because of that. I would not have predicted Avowed doing better than the Outer Worlds 2. It's gonna take some type of, like, miracle for Outer Worlds 2 to pull ahead. But, like, yeah. Like, Dark Woke is gonna have to take over, like, yesterday. Outer Worlds 2 had an enormous marketing campaign behind it. How is it failing this bad? Well, there's this game called Outer Worlds 1. Outer Worlds 2 is like a sequel that nobody wants, because nobody liked the first one. People pretend to like the first one for, like, political reasons, but nobody actually likes the first Outer Worlds game. Like, I'm pretty sure Super Red only reviewed Outer Worlds 1 because, like, I made very much fun of it, which is kind of ironic, because, like, one of my main points about Outer Worlds 1 is that it's political, but not in the way that you think. It's not like your culture war, chud right versus soy jack left type politics. It's just more like meaningless drivel. And anyways, Outer Worlds 1 is a game where most people can't, like, most people who like it can't be bothered to finish playing it. And it's only like 20 hours long. So, you know. And then it's like, yeah, I think one of the defining aspects of our franchise should be that we should make the first area really bad in all of our games. You know, that's really, like, that's a subversion of gaming right there. If you make the opening of your game, of every game that you make really bad, you know, then it just becomes like a defining thing. Then you don't even have to try that hard. Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. It is one of those games where people will try to convince, like, gaslight you that it was good all along. What's crazy about the Outer Worlds 1 is it sold like 5 million copies, too, when it came out. And nobody fucking talks about it. Because, like, Outer Worlds 1 really was just, like, one of those games where tons of people played, but nobody really talks about it because it just didn't make that strong of an impression. And it's like, you don't make a sequel to that type of game. Okay, it's a miracle that you sold what it was. Stop while you're ahead. Someone should make a mod that makes the library longer. I'd play it. There should be like 9 levels to the library. Right. You just keep going up and up. Is there no music? Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, I can hear an ambient track playing. For whatever reason, it's, like, not triggering combat music. Like, let's max this shit out. What the fuck is this? Not the rocket flood. What is this music? Oh, we get to replay the sequence and see that it has no music. It seems to have no music at all. Are they playing music for like 343 Guilty Spark on the library? Of course, this is my first time experiencing it. They just shadow dropped this. This is like first impressions of the Halo remake, basically. Man, a Halo rebalance mod. I don't even know, like, what that entails. It sounds like just one of those unfun Morrowind rebalance mods that, like, all it does is just makes it so you can't one-shot hunters with the pistol. I assume the pistol is, like, probably very heavily nerfed. Guys, have we heard of combat music? Guys, check. I think it's this song. I was wondering why I was so fucking bored. Sorry guys, you don't get that music though. The remake was ruined by tariffs. Yeah. You see, it's all real. It all really comes down to Donald Trump's fault that Halo is bad. Okay, and here's why.
The installation was specifically built to study and contain the flood. Their survival as a race was dependent upon it.
Silence, woman.
I am grateful to see that some of them survived.
You see, the Halo remake is going to change that line, because why would Guilty Spark, in the context of the broader series, be excited that the Flood reproduced? It doesn't make sense, you know? It's almost like it's one of those plot points that really only makes sense in Halo 1. Like many things, you know, Halo had a lot of like identity shifts as a consequence of not really expecting a sequel. He's got a British voice. Of course, Guilty Spark is a femboy. No, he's talking about he's glad that the Flood samples were able to reproduce. It's always one of those lines that was like, because in the context of Combat Evolved, it kind of sells him as a villain. Like, why does that make you happy?
I will deactivate the security lock. Wait here.
Look at these textures. Is this really the best that Unreal Engine 5 can do? I mean, this is like what they have to do to make it so it can run on like a 4070 Ti at 60 frames per second. Have you noticed that this person has copied quite a few of your videos down to the length, but it's just wrong and opinions in every way, shape, or form? I don't know who that is. DLSS, yeah, exactly. My card is like struggling right now, and I've been noticing the ghosting. Maybe you guys just didn't see it. Gun texture looks glossy, kind of, yeah. And then there's just, it's a weird aesthetic direction, you know, like this is really bright, but this is really dark, like is this the shotgun from Halo Infinite? I swear this is the shotgun from Halo Infinite. Alright, cool.
Please stay close. Time is short.
What's the beef between you and Super Rat again? I'm too much of a base and red-pilled chud jack, and he is a cringe and incel leftist Hassan Piker fan. Is that Zoomer enough terms, or was that kind of like a bad thing to say? No, so basically, like, I was influential to him, and then he got really mad that, like, that the guy that said that Skyrim wasn't very good in his Morrowind video eventually made a Skyrim video where he said that Skyrim wasn't very good. And then there's political components of it, like, I'm kind of against liberal intersectionality, which, you know, I've been having those conversations with the family lately, like, hey, so, what's the midterm strategy look like? And it's like, well, Trump is to blame for everything, and it's like, cool, I guess we're still not going to talk about 2024 then. You know, probably should have that conversation about, like, maybe moderating things just a little bit. I'm anti-woke. I am an anti-woke grifter. But there is like an episode watch list. It would be funny to be like here's a playlist of all of Pat's videos that makes him look right-wing, and then here's a playlist of all of Pat's videos that makes him look left-wing. And it's like you just You show that to people, and you want to like manipulate them. I don't know what woke means, but I know that I'm against it. And listen, oh man, am I even going to be able to find this? Yes, I can, because it was so funny that I I put it in my Obsidian folder. Listen. You know Master Chief would beat your ass for dressing like this, right? This is still like one of the all-time funniest fucking tweets I've ever seen. Because it's the right-wing equivalent of like, Sonic says trans rights. I want to get really muscular and then like put on a dress and just filter people. Master Chief just wants to kill aliens and jerk off to Grok. Exactly. At Grok, make her tits bigger. Oh, see, he found that funny. Unfortunately, I think the being muscular and wearing a dress thing is like a Hassan Piker bit. And I don't want to electrocute my dog, so... You want to know what's really funny? Okay. I think I've said before, I grew up in a liberal household. My parents are very liberal people, and but they don't know who Hassan Piker is, right? Well, one day, I get a call from my mom, and she's like, "Hey, have you heard of this guy Hassan Piker?" And I'm like, you know, I've heard a thing or two. I've seen a few videos on him. I'm kind of aware of who Hassan Piker is. And she's like, yeah, I had never heard of him before, but apparently he shocked his dog with like a shock collar. And I'm like, okay. So I'm having this conversation with my mom, where the first thing that she finds out about Hassan Piker is that he electrocutes his dog. And I'm like, oh, thank Christ. Thank God I did not have to have the conversation with her about that, about Hassan. He shocked his dog like Palpatine. Yeah, and there's like years of it. Oh, does this... I forget. I know it works with that other one. Does it work with this one too? Maybe if I... There we go. Wait. Did the other flood kill that one? Aghast in horror, I might have to actually play the game. Oh, no, thank God. Yeah, such is life, I'm afraid.
The floods are already hard at preparing your vessel. We promised the flood's intelligence.
Trigger this. Triggered liberal. You know, if I was born like 10 years later, I'd probably have been really good as like one of those TikTok NPC streamers. I could do that. But unfortunately, I was born in the last generation to possess a modicum of shame. Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Gang gang, gang gang. Why does Master Chief cock the hammer everything? You know what's annoying? Well, I'm noticing there's no round at the chamber in this animation, but you know what's annoying about the Halo discourse? There'll be one guy. Actually, this is like all Microsoft game discourse. There will be one guy who's wrong about something, right? It'll be like, actually, in the original CE, he does that too. But there will be one guy who's wrong, and then it's like, that just fucks the entire conversation, because all of the copers will be like, man, all of you Halo fans are like X, Y, and Z, and it's like, we're not all part of a fucking monolithic group that believes the same thing over and over. Like, be a goddamn adult for like 5 seconds and recognize that no, not everybody who disagrees with you is part of the same club.
Surrounding the index will deactivate.
Am I excited for the Deus Ex remake? I always wanted to try that game, but its graphics just look so icky, and I hate old stuff. But with new graphics, I'm excited to finally try it. Maybe they'll fix the bloom issues too. That was the real problem.
You may now retrieve the index.
They like have bisexual colors in this cutscene. This shit's woke. Oh my god, Hassan?
The index for transport. Your organic form renders you vulnerable to infection. The index must not fall into the hands of the flood before we reach the control room and activate the installation.
Let's play the buggiest level of this entire game.
Hurry.
Yeah, that post about everybody that's like in the discourse being 12 was like that was game changing for me. Like, oh, you have that political perspective because you're 12, and it was like, that's a dangerous post right there because it's so true.
Which means that any organism with sufficient mass and cognitive capability is a potential vector.
Is something wrong?
Is something wrong?
No, or nothing.
Splendid, shall we?
What do you think about Red Dead Redemption 2?
Unfortunately, my usefulness to this particular endeavor has come to an end.
Man, it's complicated because I've made a video about it before, but that doesn't preclude it from getting a longer video. It would be cool to revisit it, but I feel like the more likely thing is that I'll talk about Red Dead Online, because I almost think that Red Dead Online is superior to like the campaign. And that's because I like my video game to have like an interactive story. And like Red Dead Online has a much more interactive flow to how, oh my god, a woman? Cortana. Look, they made her look like her Halo 3 self. Cortana should be purple. She should be green right now, but...
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum?
Holy shit, she looks so bad.
Activate Halo's defenses and destroy the flood, which is why we brought the index to the control center.
You mean this?
A construct.
Master Chief is an ace icon.
Absolutely unacceptable.
Sod off.
What impertinence! I shall purge you at once.
You sure that's a good idea?
They like removed all of the sass of this cutscene, and there was no effect where it's like it flashes that way.
I have the index. You can just float and sputter.
Enough.
Think about how different of a world we would be in if they kept the evil Cortana plotline in this game. If they kept the evil Cortana plotline, Cortana on Windows would never have been a thing.
Why the Forerunners built it? Halo doesn't
Hell, the fucking sequel Halo trilogy would be completely different. It might not be a story about dementia.
The only way to stop the flood is to starve them to death. And that's exactly what Halo is designed
She ain't got no
to do.
ass.
Wipe the galaxy
Where is her
clean of all
ass?
sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him.
They wokeified this game by nerfing Cortana's ass. Is it true? More or less.
Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the flood.
Do you imagine how shit Halo would be if Cortana was made evil?
I mean, how couldn't you?
Left
I
out.
feel like Halo 2 would have come up with a replacement
We
for
have followed
her.
outbreak containment procedure to the letter.
But it might have been like a secondary female Spartan or something
I'm picking up
instead.
movement.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go right now.
Last time you asked me,
What I love about the widescreen, this entire level is so fucked. Because what I love about this cutscene in widescreen is that you see like the edges of the animation. So like that sentinel just pops into existence and you can see it because it's not 4x3.
Out of here.
if you are unwilling to help, I will simply find another. Still, I must have the index. Give your construct to me, or I will be forced.
Should I watch this Chainsaw Man movie in 3D or IMAX?
So be it.
Are there still 3D theaters? IMAX, 100%.
Look out.
Why is my weapon completely changed, Bungie? I love 2 Betrayals, but man, like, it is undeniable that this level is so fucking jank. And so weird with some of
can't let
the
the monitor
decisions it makes.
Halo. We have to stop him. We have to destroy Halo. According to my analysis of the available data, I believe the best.
What do you
course
think of
action
Vampire
is
the
somewhat
Masquerade
physical.
Bloodlines 2?
An
I heard it
explosion
was
of
bad, so I
sufficient
didn't
size
play
will
it.
help destabilize the ring,
But then
and
I've
will
also
cut
heard
through
it
a
was
number of
good,
primary
so...
systems. We need to trigger a detonation on a large scale.
You wanna know what's really fucked? There was this,
Starship's fusion reactors
this
will be
encounter
critical.
is like one of the worst thought out encounters in the entire game. And not the hardest,
According to
just
my
the
analysis
worst
of
thought
the
out.
available data, I believe the best course of action is
Like
somewhat
anybody who's
risky.
ever tried to
Explosion of
do
sufficient
achievement
size
runs
will
of this
help
level,
destabilize the
or
ring,
lasso,
and will cut
or
through a
speed
number of
runs,
primary systems.
will tell you that
We
like
need to trigger a detonation
the
on a large
sheer
scale, however.
randomness of how this fight
Starship's
goes
fusion
and plays out,
reactors
and like even the unit composition. Like now he's a blue elite,
I'm going to search what's left of the Covenant battle, see if I can locate the Pillar of Autumn's
and the
crash
weapon.
site. If the
Hello?
ship's fusion reactors are still relatively intact,
And then there's also that, but like the
then to destroy
weapon
Halo.
selection at the start, it's like plasma pistol and shotgun. He had an assault rifle in the cutscene for one, and it would be way more useful. It's cool to see Sentinels versus Covenant at least. Yeah, but the Sentinel versus Covenant thing you see later in the level is a lot better. Like it's just that hallway is so bad. I don't know what's up with that. If the complaint about Bloodlines 2 is just that it's not a good sequel, like I
haven't
totally
located
get
the
that.
crash site yet, but we need to buy some time in case the Monitor or his Sentinels find a way to.
But is it a
activate
bad
Halo's
game in its
final
own right, or
weapon
is it just
without
that
the
like,
index?
oh thank God, a
The
quest
machinery in
marker.
these canyons are Halo's primary firing mechanisms. They consist of 3 phase pulse
I don't
generators that
understand why it
amplify
looks so
Halo's
much like
signal
the
and allow
originals,
it
though.
To fire deep into space. The power levels are enormous. I can't even begin to calculate the pulse's range.
I am
If we damage
doing
or destroy
something.
these generators, the Monitor will need to repair them before Halo can be used. That should buy us some time. I'm marking the location of the nearest pulse generator with a nav point. We need to move in and neutralize the device. Bet you feel stupid.
This game would be so much better if it was open world and played like a bad Far Cry 3 spinoff. You know, listen, I know we're not fans of Halo Infinite, but I think that it being open world is like the most interesting part of that game. The most interesting part of that game is the grapple shot. If they had made like more fucking episodes of Halo Infinite and like lessened the number of boss fights and just like kind of focused like and added elites, like just do a lot of that. Oh wait, no, there are elites. Why did I think there's no elites in Halo Infinite? Anyways, there's a lot of things they could have done to like soothe Halo Infinite into being a mildly interesting thing in its own right, and they just didn't. I feel like this is not nearly enough ammo. Hang on. Can you do it with this? No. Oh, wait. I was standing on a pistol thing. I'm forgetting the obscure exploits you use to get infinite ammo in this game. No, that switched grenades. That still consumed the bullet. Someone tell me what the fucking exploit is. Backpack reload? Yeah, it's the backpack reload. Drop the pistol while it's reloading. Ah, yes, it requires a third weapon. I remember, yeah, because it keeps playing the sound when it's on the ground. Nope, that consumed it. Double tap reload and switch weapons. Ooh, okay, okay. Oh yeah, you can hear it in the background. No, that consumed it too. Press reload twice and drop the gun very fast. Yeah, like it plays the sound, and that did it. There we go, that's how you get infinite ammo. If you analyze Halo CE from a Macintosh cultist viewpoint, the plot makes a lot more sense. I mean, yeah, Bungie were Apple developers. And what are these assets? What are we doing here? Guys, like, is this Lumen? Is this really Unreal Engine 5? Shaking my head. What is that? I feel like they are, like, assets from Halo 3 from the final level when the ring falls apart, and they just, like, imported it into this game to use. Because they're supposed to be, like... The issue is that they have a weird interpretation of what this is, because this was, like, cover blocks in the base game, and now it's, like, broken off pieces of metal. Hello. Hello. I'm Mr. Frog. All right. Weird that it partial reloads, isn't it? You're talking like you can't switch graphics. You can switch graphics light, right? Lie if you have to. I can't... No, bro. It's a new engine. You have to wait a bit longer to pick it back up. Yeah, I remember it being weird. At least it's not like consuming the ammo I have left. When you press tab? I don't know about that. I'm worried it might activate... I'm worried that it might activate sprint, you know? I'm trying to play without activating sprint. Whoops. One. What? I am fumbling this encounter. Well, so was he. It was all around an embarrassing display. Is there ray tracing? That would explain why the lighting seems to be fucked up. I think it's just like, remember in the Gearbox version when like that was like an empty skybox? Yeah, see, really it all boils down to the fact that like the Gearbox version had like 1 or 2 issues, and so like honestly, I think the only authentic way to play CE is like you got to get an old Xbox and play the old version. Hey, what? What's going on here, guys? Yeah, really solid experience.
Wait, we should commandeer one of those banshees. We'll need it to reach the pulse generator in time.
I'm juking.
Good. Let's get moving. Navigate marks our target.
There's no way this is the original sound effect. I swear there's like a grunt scream sound. Oh, I lowered too much. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, this is a typical virtuose remaster. Like, they did this with Oblivion. People shouldn't be surprised that they did it with Halo.
Good. Let's get moving. The nav point marks
There's
our
no
target.
end to the boldness of the remakes that they'll make. This is using frame gen, right? I can see frame time stutters and ghosting everywhere. Well, yeah, I would only get like 20 frames per second if I wasn't using frame gen.
That's the pulse gen, the EMP blast.
Like, they messed up the sequencing of the lines too, because I was able to
Objective
sprint in here.
accomplished. The pulse generator has overloaded. Scanning.
Haven't they heard of something called
Generator's central
pacing?
core is offline. Well done.
little thing called pacing. You know, letting the flow of a level play out. This doesn't look like it's new at all. Well, neither did fucking Oblivion Remastered.
Is located in the adjacent canyon. Move out, and I'll mark the target with a nav point when we get closer. Head through that door. That's the way to the next canyon.
That might be one of the most high skill things I've ever done. And it was on stream. You guys can't keep saying I'm bad at games. See, I missed on purpose so that it would... I missed on purpose so the grenade would go off next to him and kill him. And damage him so that it would put him in the fear state where he would be corralled to go... He would run away. That was the objective with that play. God, there's frame hitching. I don't understand how a remake like this, you know, has issues in 2025 with like things locking up, you know? Just saying. Yeah, I have a Taiwanese boy in my basement who plays Halo for me to farm clips. That's one of the main things I'm excited about AI for, is that I won't have to have that Taiwanese boy anymore. You see that? Bam, 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 bam. Intimidation. You should play like you're bad, so that it's more humiliating when you win. Hey guys, fancy seeing you here. This level had a lot of potential, it's just really fucking jank. I think the shotgun spray is useful. Or the sniper, I should say. They don't make gooners like they used to. Can't even tell that this fucking guy's a gold elite until he gets like really close to me. I was just like, I don't know, he looks kind of sickly. He's Flood. Go to your boss. Oops. They don't make gooners like they used to. Them not bringing back the angular elite designs is a crime? Yeah. No, there's like something really cool about the way that CE did elites that like... Even the other Halo games didn't do well. Like, I feel like the only thing that Halo 3's elite design had going for it was the lighting. Like the way that they were lit. There's just something really cool about the way the old elites looked. Take the shoddy? Why? I could just do this. And then I can break the sequencing on this next part. Oh, the real hitching there. Gotta load the next section of levels. Which game had the best elites? I want to say... I like the way they look in CE. I think they play a little better in 2. And then I wish that they were in 3. Do this. And the level's broken. Congrats. There's like essential triggers. Like, so the way that this was sequenced out is differently than the, like an assault in the control room. There are triggers to spawn the enemies, but only on that side of the bridge. So if you jump over, use this to climb up and jump over to this side, which is why I think they retextured this to make it look like you can't climb that. You can just, like, break this sequence. And this is, like, one of many ways that you can just accidentally break this level. I'm so fucking bad. They ruined the Needler. Because of course they did. They made the Needler woke and lame. Telling you, they made the Needler woke and lame. Don't let's not pretend I didn't see that. Come on, guys. See, he's confused. He's thrown off. There should be reinforcements for him. And FYI, if we do this, I think it breaks the entire level. If I remember right. If you go through to here. Yeah, Halo's back. I love me some glowing bits. What does a successful Halo remake look like? Make it look like Halo 3? I mean, honestly, like, the thing is, like, you're not gonna get the right answer from me because I don't think it should exist. See? Level broken. Someone already did that. It's a workshop mod. Yeah, but I think it's only 2 levels. I mean, to me, anything more is just a reboot. It's just like, you know what they should do with Halo? They should retire it. They should retire the franchise. I forget if the level breaks more if you go back across this bridge backwards. Like, you hit the triggers out of order. I'm pretty sure in the past I've had to fix it by, doing the triggers in the right order. But you should see on the motion tracker, at some point, stuff will spawn behind us. See? Now there's more stuff on the bridge. On both bridges, I believe. Was that supposed to be a gold sword elite? Yeah. We juked him on the first run and he never really recovered. You ever get played so hard in a game that you don't rage quit, but you definitely like just kind of give up? That was that gold elite. You like how broken this is? There's no music, and the like spawn waves are super awkward. I feel like the Halo show was an attempt at a hard reboot. I feel like that's what they wanted out of the Halo show, was they wanted to... I don't know where... Oh no! Checkpointed here. I feel like if the Halo show had been successful and gotten past that second season, then they would have used that as the basis for their Halo reboot. But because it didn't do well enough, they're in this weird position where they're trying to shove the IP in the direction that they want to, but also recognize that they need to be just respectful enough to bring fans. So it's like, here's the Silent Cartographer, but in Unreal Engine 5. This is a gold elite, my friends. Oh no, come on! I shouldn't have broken the level. Damn it! Pennies to me. I was like, did they despawn him? They're doing spoilers for the Magic the Gathering Avatar The Last Airbender set. They have 2 cards for the My Cabbages guy. Isn't one of the cards literally just like a blurry, low-resolution screenshot from the show? Or should I guess that there are multiples of those? I feel like we didn't go back far enough. Only AI fake frame slop. Yeah, there's not... In the future, no frames will be real. Gaming will be completely AI generated. You duplicitous fuck. You deceiving, conniving motherfucker. Again? Again? Get up again. Get up again. Remember when Google Stadia claimed to have negative input lag? Yeah, what they meant to say was we have negative revenue flow, but what came out was we have negative input lag. You know what would be the funniest thing is if they did a virtuous remake of Fallout New Vegas and just completely skipped 3. Guys, it's too good to remake. No, that was when Bethesda started to make games that were good enough that they don't even need to be remade. New Vegas, though. Why does he cock an empty gun? Alright, we are past the point that sniper rifle is useful for now. I will play as the developers intended. Wait, you unironically think he shocks his dog? I mean, the fact that he owns a shock collar, his dog acts like it's being shocked, the manufacturer of the collar says it's a shock collar, and, like, has a history of saying, yeah, I use my dog as a prop, and that he uses a shock collar. I feel like all of those pieces of evidence make me think that maybe, just maybe, he might actually use a shock collar. And the fact that he, like, keeps lying about it. Not just, like, he's lying about using a shock collar, but, like, he said that there was, like, no, like, there was no, like, he started with showing the collar and it had tape on it. And then he said, there's no tape on it, guys. And then he said, okay, there is tape on it, but it's covered. No, no, no. That float elite ruined everything. This is my purgatory. Play 2 Betrayals forever. You see... You see, my friends? I said the 2 Betrayals was like... What did I say? Like A tier? And people disagreed with me. And so my punishment is that I'm stuck in 2 Betrayals forever. You chose to break the game. Listen, we broke the game together. Me and Bungie. We broke this game. You own a gun. Go rescue the dog. True. Oh, see? I don't suck. It's like, you know, unlucky. How do Flood jump better than their hosts when they use the same legs? I would imagine it's like, they're using the full potential. Like, you can't use all of the power in your muscles, because you would, injure yourself. Whereas, you know, they don't care. I am always semantically correct. When people do not listen to me, if people listened to me, there would be no Outer Worlds 2 sequel. They would have canceled it years ago, they would have saved themselves millions of dollars and a bunch of fucking embarrassment. But nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted to listen to me very obviously point out that, hey, the world doesn't want Outer Worlds 2. Don't make a sequel to that game. The world doesn't want it. Did the world listen? No. No, of course not. And it's like, Pat, you just gotta wait for the pre-release period, and that's when all the people are gonna buy it. And it's like, I've lived through this. There has not been a game. Well, maybe there has. I don't want to be arrogant, but of the samples that I have, there has yet to be a game where they had a pre-release period and then got more players after it was over. I don't know, maybe like Battlefield 6 or some shit, but like Starfield, peak of players was in the pre-release. Avowed, peak of players was in the pre-release. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't look good. Yeah, see, it's all a tonal issue. If I gotta remember that I need to talk to people like they're dogs, right? If I talk to people like, oh, don't worry, little buddy. I'm just saying that, you know, maybe you shouldn't have made a sequel to this game, little Poochie. Little buddy. It's okay. I'm not mad. I just think maybe the Democrats should rework their policy decisions to be a little more moderate. Just a little more moderate. Just like, you know, out a little bit of the extremism of the party, and then maybe normal people would be more inclined. Yeah. You know, maybe, hey buddy, can we leave the video games alone? Maybe we shouldn't push politics into the video games, because this might clap back at us in a really bad way. Oh, who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Just, you know, a couple things that you could work on. Don't shit outside of the litter box. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, don't put Sprint in the Halo remake. If you don't put Sprint in the Halo remake, then, you know, you probably make more people happy. It's like, you know, the modern audience, they might even be like a little tired of Sprint slop. They might not want Sprint slop. You talk to dogs like that? No, I talk to dogs like this. Fuck off. Fuck off, bastard. Fuck off. That's how I talk to dogs. Unfortunately, it's because I'm always on a bike. Dogs like to chase you when you're on a bike. When I meet somebody's dog at, like, their house, then, you know, usually they get the, hey, little puppy, are you gonna vote for Kamala Harris? The liberals are putting Sprint into Halo to make Master Chief gay. Master Chief doesn't sprint, he drives a truck. They're making the Warthog weak and inefficient to try to get people to stop buying Ford F-150s. See, it's that fucker. It's that fucker. I'm pretty sure we still haven't gotten a checkpoint. So, like, you know, I am playing like I am fucking terrified for my life. Because at any moment I could just explode, and I'll have like 2 seconds to respond. You got soft hands, brother. Yeah, well, the funny thing about Old Knight is he made a tier list where he put me in. You see, if you respond to Old Knight with like 1% of the vitriol that he puts out constantly, then you will become his forever enemy, right? So like he puts out a tier list. He puts out this tier list of this YouTuber tier list, which he put himself on, by the way. So he puts out this tier list, and then like 2 days later, no wait, that can't embed in OBS. Like 2 days later, this came out. He put me in like F-. I didn't even make the bottom of the tier list. I'm that bad. And then like 2 days after he said that I was one of the worst YouTubers on the platform, I dropped my like 4,000 mile charity ride videos. No, like, the reason I never responded to that guy was that I was, like, out in the world doing stuff. Checkpoint, please? You guys do your thing. Old Knight drops a video so fire, Pat had to bike to the other side of the states. It's so true. So it's just kind of funny at this point. Like initially I was sympathetic, and then I was kind of annoyed, but now it's just funny. Because it's like, you know, I've got family in the education sector. I know that, like, earlier this year when the Department of Education cuts were happening, like, that was a very stressful time to be a teacher. I was very, like, sympathetic to his cause. And then, like, from then on, it was just, like, I could say that, like, pedophilia was bad, and he would, like, try to find a way to defend it. It's like, well, if the lolly is drawn... Cortana, all I need to know is, did we lose the files? She was 3 years old, you sick fuck. You fapped to Cortana and she was 3 years old. Pat, has the government shutdown affected you in any noticeable way yet? No. No, not at all. Someone's got a really weird fetish when they think about a 7-year-old girl getting dementia. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I lost the US aid checks and suddenly I became woke. Explain that, liberals. No! Come on. Fuck. You know, it is always funny when people post the Halo is overrated meme, and I do consider it kind of a meme, because the issue isn't that Halo is overrated, it's that it's oversaturated. This game deserves to be just like one of those things that you had in your childhood, or maybe you check out as an adult like 20 years after the fact because you'd always heard stuff about it, but it was just like one of those games, like a Battlefront 2 or a Half-Life or something like that, right? It shouldn't have been like constantly getting pushed as like this new franchise and we're gonna reinvent everything. And so it's like, it's this fucking necromancer's plaything that's just been fucked to death over and over, and they keep playing with the goddamn body. And it's like, can Halo CE just be like the fun, casual, like console shooter game? Why does it have to be like considered one of the great masterpieces of all time just because Microsoft is such a fucking inept company that they keep trying to force the meme? It's frustrating, I tell you, it's frustrating. It's a press release. Yeah, they should hire me for a 343 press release. I think that I've got the right energy for it. You know, there was one weird thing that happened around the time that the government shut down, which is that this e-girl stopped talking to me. It was really weird. How do you feel about all the boomer shooter era millennials who have tried to dismiss Halo because it was too slow and not as fast as Quake or Doom? I had always heard those guys complain about Halo because it changed the first-person shooter industry. And so it's like, well, the reason that every first-person shooter became a soulless military shooter was because Halo actually introduced regenerating health. And it's like, okay. But yeah, it really is the case that, like, those guys were, like, their own worst enemy. And it's kind of funny. Because it's like, they killed their own favorite games by having this, like, huge skill curve that new people couldn't overcome. And so new people just wouldn't, like, pick up Quake. Because, like, there was just too much of a learning curve. You would join a game, die instantly, and then that would be it. And it's interesting that you see that pattern repeating over and over in various, like, gaming communities. Like, people just can't help themselves. Yeah, but I feel like with Halo CE, it's not hard to be good at it. Hey, if nobody else is streaming it, it's because it's like, it's early morning. All the other people that are going to be streaming the Shadow Drop are going to do it tonight. It's called Initiative. Have you heard of it? I go above and beyond, over the top, and just take initiative. Honestly, I just want to get to the next checkpoint to see if it's possible, and then, like, stop the stream. Yeah, I got paid $7,000 to play this. Yeah, like there's rocket flood on that bridge. People aren't streaming it because the government shut down. Exactly, they kicked Microsoft out of the government because they were employing Chinese people. The problem with the take that the innovation was in PC games was that all of those classic PC FPS game studios also happened to like just kill themselves at the same time. Like id Software was a troubled company way before Rage came out. USAID cuts and all the Halo YouTubers aren't 100% shilling the remake. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, there is a closer relationship between the United States federal government and Halo than a lot of people like to address. Yeah, but the real-life Spartan program is they kidnap the kids, but instead of making them super soldiers, they just have sex with them. This is just like my favorite game, Halo, said 6-year-old Timmy when he arrived on Epstein's Island. I didn't think we had any financiers active in this part of the ring. Come on, we're almost there. We just gotta, like, bait out this fucking guy. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Oh, wait, they're not flood forms. You're snowflakes. Where are the little flood forms below us? I think I see them down there. I like finding boomer shooter YouTubers who still hold a grudge against Halo. It gives me Japanese soldier who kept fighting after the war vibes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have that perspective, like, then you should feel that, like, Halo got what it deserved. Because, you know, look at Halo now. How does Sarah Palmer fit into this? Well, she was, like, the prototypical, like, woke female character, you know, inserted into it. Okay. Okay, okay, this is promising. Too far. I'm worried that, like, right over this. Is there a single franchise from the 2000s that isn't a slop farm in 2025? Yeah, I mean, there were all kinds of things. They just didn't get sequels. Although the funniest one has to be Tron. I would never in a million years have expected Tron to come back, or for it to do as poorly as it did. Not that I thought that like Tron had the potential to be like a big franchise, but I've always attributed like the Disney approach of like the sequel, the switching of the old guard style sequel to like Tron Legacy. Like Tron Legacy was the blueprint for The Force Awakens as a movie. Ah, we got a checkpoint. Yeah, there's a good question. Would the remake, I mean this game, will it have it where the flood infect bodies? No, I'm just fucking with you. You can reactivate the buttons in this level, and sometimes it undoes the whatever the button is supposed to trigger. I like it. It's kind of like a if they made Forge World into a game. An entire Halo game that's just Forge World assets. Is Helldivers 2 a bad game to Contrarians now? Now? And the answer is yes. Like any question of, is X a bad game to Contrarians now? The answer is yes. Always one guy that makes his entire personality, this game's bad.
Okay, let's take care of the next pulse generator.
Where's the boost? I need the boost. I'm gonna panic without a boost button. Helldivers 2 is another one of those situations where like they had their moment and then like they made it where the game like bricks people's computer. because I knew people that were having that issue, and like it interfered with our ability to keep like a Helldivers 2 group going for long enough that people eventually lost interest. And it was like, that was your shot. I guess we're gonna have to wait like another 2 years to see if you guys have your act together. Hardlocking is not bricking. It was like fucking with people's CPUs. If you had the wrong CPU, like private sessions was getting kicked to desktop. Not to desktop, but like blue screen of death. Wow, 343. I can't believe your remake does that. Yeah, but the issue with the Helldivers 2 thing is that that's the only game where that was happening.
That did it. The pulse generator overloaded. One more to go.
Pardon me. Sure.
I located the Pillar of Autumn. She put down 1,200 kilometers upspin. Energy readings show her fusion reactors are still powered up. That tunnel leads to the next.
This is a
section
very
of
common thing that we can't figure out how to fix. Says only game to be experiencing this issue. China is stealing my Bitcoin. I got 10 grand on the government reopening before the 1st. Daddy needs it to happen. Wow, was that Lumen? Is this Lumen? Gang, what should I do in this situation? Do I A, jump and shoot him with the shotgun? B, turn around and run away, or C, in the stream. Well, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think this remake was very good. I think they were crazy to charge, like, man, I forget, how much did this cost? Halo Combat Evolved. Because I've heard people say $40. That kind of seems right, but I think it was 60. But anyways, they should charge 117 bucks for it. They should. You should watch the bikepacking videos, even if it's not usually your thing. You know, it's still my style of doing it, and it's fun. I rode from Los Angeles to Washington D.C. to visit different parts of the Fallout setting, and we did it for charity. I donated personally $1 for every mile I rode, and I don't get to touch any of the money, so it goes to St. Jude. So yeah, go check that out. Appreciate everyone coming out. I will see you guys later.